Hello, thanks for joining us again at Good Teams Win, Great Teams Cover. We're back for an NFL trivia special. In short, we ran out of ideas, and this is the best we could come up with for this week's episode. No, we've thought on the fly, and we've got a trivia special. Don't know if we've been influenced by any other UK-based NFL podcast that one of us might have appeared on for this idea or not. But here we are, and it should be fun. Byron's going to play Quizmaster. Me and Joe are going to be the competitors. So we'll see how we get on. We might have to abandon the podcast after this if we don't do very well on the quiz. But yeah, that's to come. We'll also go over the latest NFL news as well. Again, it's been a fairly quiet week, but we'll touch on the big news that's come out of the NFL. Joined as always by Joe and Byron. Gentlemen, how are we doing? How are we feeling about this trivia special?
Yeah, it's been fun putting it together. I'm glad I'm not doing it. I haven't tried to. I really haven't made it brutal. So like, there's going to be nothing that you. I mean, there might be some things that like surprise you a little, but you're not going to be like, "Who's that player? What?" There's no questions about the 1941 Pittsburgh Steelers or anything like that. It's modern day. It's things you will know. It's just getting them under a quiz environment is always a bit different, obviously. And there's going to be some head-to-head as well, so, that's always a stressor.
Yeah.
/ enjoyment, I hope.
Joe, have you done any preparation for this?
Not whatsoever, because no idea what Byron's... I was thinking about doing the 1941 Pittsburgh Steelers, so I'm glad I didn't spend too long on them. No, not done any, so we'll see how it goes, and hopefully the memory is still working fine, which was probably meant... Was it mentioned in the over 30 draft? But, that memory's certainly going downhill.
Yeah, go check out our Things That Change at 30 draft, which was last week? Yeah, it was our last episode, wasn't it? Yeah. Things That Change, there you go. Things That Change at 30 draft.
I don't want to call your memory out, but we did do a Euros preview since.
Oh, yes. So, yeah, a couple of episodes ago. It's available on our YouTube, Spotify. And as a reminder, go give us a follow. Good Teams and Great Teams Cover over on Spotify, at GTW_GTC, over on YouTube, Twitter /X, Instagram, and TikTok. We've got Charlie the Dog making Euros picks as well, so make sure you catch that out on the TikTok.
It's crushing it.
We'll give it a follow. Yeah, it's 2-0 so far, and making picks for the home nations. Soon to be just England, I think, the way Scotland are going. So, yeah, we'll see if Charlie can go unbeaten the whole tournament. Cracking start to the Euros as well. We were just talking about it before we started recording there. Plenty of goals. A couple of crackers today in the Turkey-Georgia game. Just, yeah, it's been pretty good so far. I've not watched as much of it as I would like to. I'm very busy at the minute, but it falls nicely for you guys from a timings perspective. Enjoying the tournament so far?
Loving it, yeah. It's been really good. Just finished Portugal, Czechia. Roberto Martinez, as Joe pointed out on their comms, managerial genius. I was at your comms poll. Somebody had said it's managerial genius, so that's breaking news. Good to hear.
So that was Danny Murphy, but yeah.
Oh yeah, I meant somebody on your commentary. I'm not saying you'd said it. Sorry, that wasn't very clear. But yeah, I mean the fact it was Danny Murphy about sums that up. So, but yeah, it's been a real good top banger. Some banging goals. Jeez Louise. And we haven't even had like a deep dive into the ball yet. Like what was it? Zabulani? South Africa, was it?
Was it Jabulani?
I think you're right, yeah. I nearly said Vuvuzela, but that was...
Don't do horn.
That. Yeah, certainly was the horn. Some kind of horn that made an awful noise the entire tournament. Jabulani, you are right. That is the thing of it, yeah. I wonder if we want to get a Euros deep dive into why are the goals being so good.
Yeah, a lot of long distance strikes as well from outside the area so far. But yeah, it's been good. And we're on Tuesday, so we've got Wednesday. So Scotland will be playing their second game. Then England will be playing Denmark tomorrow. If you're watching this on Wednesday, the day it comes out. Struggled the first game, I thought England were garbage on Sunday. Thoughts?
Wasn't exciting, certainly. I think some of it's been a little overblown. Like, you take the win and you move on and Serbia didn't look threatening at all. I think they relatively contained them, but yeah, you'd hope for a better performance, obviously. But I'm not going to be too down about it. You take a win, clean sheet when again, they weren't under threat. As unexciting as it was, Harry Kane didn't really get as involved as you'd like. Phil Foden, at left-hand side does look like a problem. We'll see what comes of it, whether Gordon comes in or whether Trippier stays in and just tell him that he has to stick wide a bit more and get forward. I don't know, but, this level will be fine in the groups. They just need to build coherence as it goes along, trying the Trent Alexander-Arnold midfield pairing in the Euros. It's maybe not the best time to be trying things out. But I guess, if you try things out and you come through unscathed, it could have been worse, is maybe the best thing I can say.
Yeah. Joe, did you enjoy the game Sunday? Watching out there?
I didn't get a chance to watch it live, so I was trying to keep up with my phone since I was out in the mountains. But yeah, I watched the highlights, watched most of it, and I think like Byron said, it's a win's a win. Like, it feels like at most tournaments, England always draw or lose the opening game. It's very rare that we actually win it, and when we're still negative about it. So it's and how the Euros is, we need probably one more point to qualify. So we get the win against Denmark, and that's more or less sealed the top spot. So yeah, you hoping for better performances, but again, it's early on, and it's not how you start. It's obviously how you finish. So good luck to the boys on Thursday.
Very true.
And I will say, every time England have won their opening game at the Euros, they have made the final.
Yeah, once, yeah.
Yep, 100%.
100%, yeah. Excellent.
We're back on my one-of-one sample sizes.
Yeah.
We're in mid-season mode.
Watch out for those during the NFL season and Byron's bet recommendations. Cool. Right, well, let's jump to the NFL because we are a NFL podcast. Couple of bits of news this week. The biggest bit of news is that the Jacksonville Jaguars have tied down Trevor Lawrence to a 5-year, $275 million contract extension, including $200 million guaranteed. And he got $142 million on whenever it was, Friday, Saturday, whenever it was. Just got $142 million, just like that.
Hell of a weekend.
Hell of a Friday night for Trevor Lawrence. That puts him on an average per year level with Joe Burrow at $55 million per year in total value and average annual salary. What was your initial reaction to this, particularly seeing the numbers? Not the fact I think we knew that the Jags were going to extend Trevor Lawrence, but when you saw the numbers involved. Oh no!
Sorry, I got microphone issues and it muted me. Fair enough. Hopefully it's working on. You can hear me.
Yeah, we got you. Yeah,
we're just doing. I think it's obviously a lot. If you look on his body of work in the NFL, it's probably not deserved. But I think you have to believe in the talent if you're Jacksonville because you don't truthfully have too much choice. Again, they could have maybe kicked it down the can another year and wait and see what happens. But I find it really tough with these quarterbacks who I think have the ability. I think Trevor Lawrence's year last year is, I'm not going to say it was great, but I think it was better than it looked on stats. Calvin Ridley was a huge net negative. He lost Christian Kirk for a lot of the, down the stretch. And again, he's certainly not been perfect, and he's certainly not been, I guess, what the hype had him built as coming into the league. But I think ultimately you just kind of have to swallow it and pay it. Again, maybe you could have waited until next offseason. But unless he stinks up this year, I don't think the decision was really going to be different. And I think you kind of have to maybe put a bit of faith and say, hey, he's not going to stink it up this year. And the price is probably only going to go up if he's even good, not even great. So I kind of get it. And showing faith in your franchise players, I think, is generally a good thing. It's something we criticize Dallas for not doing often enough. And yeah, you just have to hope that the highlights get more in number and the lowlights kind of go away. I think he's obviously talented enough. It's just, you've got to see it week in, week out, and that has kind of been the issue with Trevor Lawrence so far. Yeah,
I think 2021 was the Urban Meyer washout, from the mess. 2022, the Jags were 2-6, and then 7-2 finished the season, got them to the playoffs, where Lawrence was very good down the stretch, and they got that crazy come from behind win against the Chargers in Super Wildcard weekend. And then 2023, the Jaguars were in a great position. They were 8-3. Trevor Lawrence did get injured, but he also didn't play great at times, and that's what we've had out of his 3 years. Yeah. Joe, kind of where he, do you see Lawrence as one that can be on that level of Joe Burrow and Mahomes and Allen and all those people at the top end that are earning that money?
He's certainly got the ability, but I don't know. There's certain things where he just hasn't shown that yet. Obviously, that could change. He can prove everyone wrong. But I just worry that, some of these quarterbacks who came into the league number 1 picks, you see it straight away and you see it quite often, and it feels like they carry the team. I think, certainly down the stretch, he certainly was a major part why they got there the year before. But it felt like last year it was never like, oh, wow, he's just put Jacksonville on his back. The rest of the team's playing bad, and he's done something special to win that game. It always feels like everything has to be, the defense can't have a stinker. They can just have a decent game, and he can win it that way, rather than like someone like Joe Burrow. When he first started, it felt like he was carrying that team. So in that sense, it feels like he doesn't deserve that level of contract, but I'm not surprised as well. And I'm not going to, slander the Jags for doing that, because, it's only going to go up and up and up and up, as we always say. Whoever's in the line for the next contract's probably going to get the same amount of money or even higher. And it just, that's how it is. It certainly helps that it certainly helped his age. That he was the number 1 pick, and obviously the Jags have put a lot of resources and how big he was coming out of college, that he was like, he's going to be the next Peyton Manning, he's going to be the next big thing. So you're always going to hold out hope, and they were never not going to pay him. I think that's the thing, because if they, for example, released him, or even if he had an okay year next year, they would still sign him on a big contract if he wanted them to. And the Jags being the Jags, it's not like they've had a rich history of world-class quarterbacks or anyone like this on top of my head. So it's just like they're gonna keep him. Yeah. They haven't got that many superstars. I know they paid Allen on the defense, but really they haven't got anyone else to pay monster, and it doesn't feel like there's anyone coming up. You're like, oh wow, it's not like the Cowboys or the 49ers or teams like the Bengals or stuff like that, where it's like, oh, there's like about 3 or 4 players where the contracts are coming up soon and you're going to have to figure this out. The Jags, they haven't really got anyone, so they can easily fit it in. So, good for him. He needs to prove it. I think obviously the next year, probably not as much pressure now he's got the contract, but I think he needs to show some people what he's made of the next few years, because I think if he carries on playing how he has played, I don't think he'll get... We're saying that Kirk Cousins got monster contracts. So, as long as you're in that level, you're going to keep getting monster contracts, because there's always going to be teams reaching and think they're going to reach his potential. So, I think it's smart by the Jags getting it done before the quarterbacks. The Cowboys quarterback, I think obviously the 49ers one is next year, and there's a few other quarterbacks ready to get some decent paydays. So,
the next one, I think that's where it is.
Well,
Tua, I think, is a fascinating one coming up, because again, they're almost certainly just going to pay him, because what's your alternative?
Is it getting to that point? Do you think we will see, and with there's probably 3, Tua, you just mentioned Dak, Purdy, I guess, would be next. But is it going to get to the point where this is going now, when we're not going to be too far where a quarterback's going to start getting $60 million a year? That could happen as much as, that could be one of those next ones. It's one of these teams, and the Vikings kind of did it with Cousins, just going to say, go have a look, go see what you can get.
I mean, Dallas might be the next one who does it, to be fair. Because like Joe kind of alluded to there, they've got CD to pay, they've got Micah Parsons to pay. It's hard to pay when you also then got to immediately pay a quarterback, like top of the market money. If Dak holds out for $60 million a year on a 4-year deal, say, and wants a lot of it guaranteed.
And I think, like, with Dak as well, he's out of them 3 quarterbacks. He's the one who's getting that money. I don't think the other 2 could. I don't know if there's any... There feels to be a lot of negativity around, Purdy and Tua around... I know there's negative about Dak, but it's more like where he comes up in big games. It just feels like the Tua and Purdy, they're more system quarterbacks carried by the head coaches and the OC, where you never said, oh, Dak's getting carried by, Kellen Moore, or Mike McCarthy. So I think there would be a team willing to go big on Dak. I'm not sure about the other two. So I think that's why Dallas is in a tricky position, with also having to pay their other superstars who are coming up as well. So I think Dallas are the ones where, cause they're not going to tag him next year, because it's just a crazy price. So unless they don't get anything this year, it could be they're the team to say, go on Dak, see what you can get. And I think there could be a team who are, daft enough, I don't know if that's the right word, to pay him $60 million a year, because it's the most important position. And there's plenty of teams who have not had a quarterback for 20 years and they're desperate for it. And we've seen it with plenty of quarterbacks, Kirk Cousins being the main one, where teams are willing to go above and beyond.
Absolutely.
Yeah, I mean,
and Dak actually, Dak has a no tag clause in his contract as well, so he is a free agent next year unless he signs a long-term deal with Dallas. So no tag, no trade.
And he doesn't sound like he's going to give a discount. I feel like the other two could possibly be like, I'm in the best situation I'm going to be in.
Yeah,
I'm not going to leave. While it feels like Dak's like, it's not the greatest how he's treated and vice versa. So.
Yeah.
I think there's a piece here, isn't there, around, look, probably, the Mahomes contract, if teams could do that, they'd love to be in that situation, but sadly they can't.
Yeah. And
I think it's getting to the point now where some of these contracts for these quarterbacks are a detriment to the team. That Prescott one, Prescott gets 55. If Prescott matches that or more, that kills the Cowboys for the next 4 or 5 years. So what's the point?
Yeah.
You're damned if you do, damned if you don't. So I don't know. And I get, I don't want anyone, we say it a lot of the time in here. Absolutely. Of course, you want people to get paid. You want people to go get the money. But when it comes at the cost of being able to compete and it comes at the cost of being able to win.
Well, it's funny. We often talk about, like, you need a quarterback to win. But really, you need Patrick Mahomes or Tom Brady to win. In the last 20 years of the NFL, that's the constant. And you don't. There's only one Patrick Mahomes. There's not one Tom Brady in the league anymore. I think the problem is it takes a brave GM and a brave coach to do it. We'll just have a rookie quarterback contract, and then we'll roll to a new rookie quarterback contract when the time comes, because it's hard to keep your job if you go 2-13 or 2-15, as it would, because you're developing a quarterback, and if you get it wrong, you've almost certainly lost your job.
Yeah.
Whereas if you have, an 8-9 season or what have you, okay, that's fine. Quarterback A had a bad year. Well, we either believe in him or we're going to upgrade it in the draft next year, and you keep your job. And
I think the case of point is like the Cousins one. Like Washington thought they could do better, and there's been plenty of head coaches being fired because they haven't. And it's not just easy just to we'll get any rookie QB and suddenly we're gonna, there's only so many teams where that, fortunately happens and they can move on from that. So yeah, it's definitely a risk. And like you said, a lot of these managers, GMs, they want to keep the jobs, they want to keep getting paid. They don't want to just say, like you said, Dallas with Dak, they're probably going to make the playoffs most years. Yeah. But if they get rid of him and then they say, Trey Lance is going to be the next big thing, and then he absolutely stinks out, then see you later, Mike McCarthy, and hello, the new head coach.
Yeah,
Bill Belichick.
I think we'll be saying see you later, Mike McCarthy, whatever happens at the end of 2024. Well, that's for another episode down the line. The other bit of significant news, I guess, is that T. Higgins has finally signed his franchise tag. Is reported to team activities. That seems resolved for now.
Yeah.
The Bengals getting back their number 2. They've still got Jamar Chase to sort out from a contract perspective. But does this feel like they've been at deadlock almost, the Bengals and T. Higgins, for months now? Does this feel like they can start to move past this a little bit and start putting together what's been, a really successful team the last few years?
I think we've talked about this the last few times. I think he's just going to stick on his tag.
Yeah.
This year, and then he's going to be gone. I think it's a win-win for both sides. So I think they'll move past in terms of he'll play, and being a contract year, wide receivers feel like they normally try and step up and try and go all out. But I don't think they'll pay him because I think he wants high-end money. when they've already got a clear number one in Chase who they're going to pay. You don't really pay too high end wide receivers, and if they let him go, that's a third rounder. Compensation. Is anyone really going to? Probably most are going to get is a 2. If anyone trades him this year, but it's why not keep him and see how far you can get this year, and then just move on going forward.
Yeah, it reminds me of the Niners and Ayuk, which again we say kind of every time is like there's no benefit to the Bengals taking a trade because it doesn't help them win this year, and like the Niners are in win now. I'd be surprised if either wide receiver gets moved, and I think Higgins knows that he's not moving anywhere, so he probably comes in and gets his guaranteed money for this year, and hopefully go out with a ring. Because I don't, like Joe said, I don't think he's signing a new deal there because there is only so much money to go around.
There is, and a lot of it's going in Joe Burrow's pocket, and a lot of it's about to land in Jamar Chase's pocket as well. I'm sure. While we're on the subject of the Bengals, I suppose the other bit of news that we've not prepped for is Hard Knocks announced their in-season lineup. And they're going all out this year. So we've had 2 seasons of the in-season Hard Knocks. The first with the Indianapolis Colts. And then we got the Miami Dolphins last year, which was fantastic, and followed them in the playoffs. Now we're getting all 4 AFC North teams. So the Bengals, the Steelers, the Browns, and the Ravens. This is going to be absolute chaos. Trying something new, Hard Knocks. The in-season has been new anyway, but mixing that up only after 2 seasons. Thoughts on 4 teams for the in-season Hard Knocks?
Definitely different. I mean, we're getting to a point where we're going to name the teams that aren't on Hard Knocks.
Well, we've got
the Bears and the Jets. The Jets have got the off-season one, right, up until the draft or something?
It's the Giants, but yeah, it's the Giants. Yeah, the Giants off-season Giants.
Oh, you're right, yeah.
Bears, traditional Hard Knocks, pre-season training camp, and then all 4 AFC North teams, in season.
Is it one of them things where I haven't watched any of the in-season ones because there's already too much NFL to watch and to do all that kind of stuff? So is it just more like let's do 4 teams so we get 4 fan bases to at least watch? It feels like the training because everyone's starved for NFL content and to get back into the season, everyone gets excited, but there's not much. I heard the Miami one was good last year, but it's not like I heard that many stories coming from it, or it was, that kind of high news compared to the other kind of Hard Knocks where it feels like anything what happens, someone doesn't believe in dinosaurs, it's talked about for weeks and weeks. But like the in-season one, it feels like no one actually mentions it. So I wonder if they're just getting more teams just to try and get more fan bases involved.
And maybe potentially more interesting things like, if you throw a bigger net, you've more chance of catching something good.
But isn't it like the in-season one, the teams still have
ultimate control
what goes out? So obviously if it's going to,
And I think that's one of the... I'm not saying they shouldn't have control over it because they should, because, it's in their building. But I've really struggled with Hard Knocks the last 3 or 4 years, truthfully. I think it's become really watered down. I don't know if it's people are more reserved or we just got used to it. But, it doesn't feel like there's as many great moments as it used to be. You don't like see the players getting cut, but, it's really good watching, that human experience of it. And the cornerback, Vontae Davis, getting traded to Indianapolis or to Miami. I forget which Hard Knocks it was now. And again, him calling his grandma, it feels like those big moments. I can't remember a single and I've watched the last couple of series. They're just, I don't know, it feels like sterilized a little. There's not as much.
I just remember that offensive lineman coach for the Browns.
Yes, the Browns. the big belly.
Yeah.
So good.
I suppose I think the gold of Hard Knocks is not around the stars and not around the names that you know.
Yeah.
It's around the guys, these guys who a lot of the undrafted free agents or the late round draft picks who are fighting to get on the team and make the roster. Those are the gems. Those are the special parts of Hard Knocks and following their stories. Obviously, you don't get that in season. So it's just, I did like the Miami one in season. I thought it was really, really good. It was a good team. Typically what they do is they will organize this in the first few weeks of the season. So I don't ever get it in this, the first two, you don't get it this far in advance. They're ideally looking for a team who's chasing the playoffs, etc. Obviously, going after all four, you're guaranteed to get a story in terms of divisional race, big games, all that jazz. But yeah, it is an interesting move. I'll be interested to see how it goes. And yeah, I'll certainly be watching it over the second half of the season. But yeah.
I think it'll be good if, and it will, the weeks where they play each other, like having those as like not necessarily split screen, but like do that kind of cut in and out of like, got to prepare for this guy, and then it's that guy on this. I think that'll be very fun. Yeah,
some potential built-in storylines already. We're going to see if Fields and Wilson, who's going to be starting at that point for the Steelers.
He'll be returning kicks.
He'll be Fields return kicks by that point. It usually starts about week 10, week 11. So, yeah. And the other bit is a last bit of news, and again, not prep for it, I've just remembered. Tickets for these NFL London games at Tottenham go on sale this Thursday. So that is Jets, Vikings, Bears, Jaguars, and extra tickets have just been released for the Patriots, Jaguars at Wembley as well. So, yeah, it'll go crazy this week. I'll certainly be trying to grab some tickets. I think we're set on going to Jaguars, Bears at Tottenham, and then Patriots, Jaguars as a fallback at Wembley, assuming they've still got some tickets left. So hopefully that goes well and we get a good spot in the queue on Thursday. And I think Bears, Jaguars with the newly minted Trevor Lawrence. And
your favourite rookie, Caleb Williams.
And my favourite rookie, Caleb Williams, yeah. Should be fun. We'll see how that goes. I'll let you know what position in the queue I get into on Thursday morning. That'll be fun. There's been over 1 million the last few times that have been in the queue for tickets. So, yeah, we'll see how we do. That's it, Byron. Let's hand over to you. You are the quiz master. Which sort of well-known quiz host, game show host are you going to channel for this? Let's start there.
I don't know if I'm going to fully channel, but there's a lot of icons of quizzing in the UK, obviously. Bruce Forsyth, Jim Bowen, Anne Robinson in her own way, Chris Tarrant on Millionaire. But my all-time favourite, if it's up there, I'll give you the money myself, Les Dennis. Smooth guy, very nice guy. I don't think anyone ever really has a bad word to say about Les Dennis. Sentenced himself up in extras. Family Fortune's a great game show as well, and he was an absolute pro. And yeah, probably my favorite quiz host of my generation growing up watching quizzes. So yeah, if I can be half of what Les Dennis is, I'd be delighted.
A sentence I never thought I'd hear on good teams and great teams.
In fact, I think it was the second time Cindy came to England. I just remember sitting in, we came down to Leeds and sitting in a hotel room, eating pizza Cano, watching Family Fortunes. And I'm just like, look at Les Dennis. What a guy. And she didn't seem to know why that was very cool. But I know how to treat a lady. That's for sure.
And they say romance is dead.
Yeah, she certainly did. But yeah, so we've got 5 rounds. The scoring isn't fully tested, I guess, but I'm pretty confident we'll be able to just pick it up and go. I have a little Excel sheet of keeping your scores as we go, so I think we're going to be fine. If we have any controversies, makes better viewing, right?
Excellent, right. So me and Joe going head to head, yeah? This is...
Yep. Have you got a pen and paper?
Oh, whoa.
You might not need it.
You can't just be saying that while we're partway through recording.
Well, you can also just put it in the private chat.
Okay.
But there's going to be a few where I'm going to ask you to not necessarily write down an answer, but write down how many answers you think you might be able to give for a certain category.
Oh, nice. Okay, yeah.
So I don't want Joe saying 4 and you saying 5 because you've heard me say 4.
Yeah.
I want you to show your work, essentially. So you've both got a writing implement and something to write on.
I will be using the chat, I think.
Perfect, that's grand. Joe's going to be doing implements, so absolutely fine. Cool, so I think my screen is shared on the...
Yes, let's bring it up. There we go.
I mean, and look at this design work. I didn't even get Joe in for this. All right, that wasn't a joke. That's all I've been doing at work today. Come on. Look at that. Got white on black, black on white.
I know it's got the blue the Blues. But we don't need the thing at the bottom.
Nah, we'll
we?
be fine. Oh, yes, Joe. Joe gets the first bonus point of the episode.
Yeah, shout out Joe as well for making. I think we're going to use the Byron as Jim Bowen background. It is outstanding.
It really is.
It is. Do you think our viewer in Kenya is going to know about Bullseye?
If he doesn't now, or she doesn't now, they will by the end of this episode, I'm sure.
Yeah. Right.
All right. So up and rolling. Our first round is: do you believe in Fitzmagic? So this is where we need a writing implement or to put your thing in the chat here. Ryan Fitzpatrick has played for more than one NFL team. I want you to write down the number of how many you can name he has played for, and then you will go. If you do not, whoever says a higher number is going to say how many NFL teams he's played for and name those teams. If you fail to name them, the other person will get a point. If you get them, you'll get... Sorry, if you fail to name them, the other person will get 5 points. If you name them, you'll get the amount you name.
Okay, right.
So if he's played for 20 teams, he hasn't. And you say 20, and you name all 20, you will get 20 points. If you only name 18, the other person gets 5.
Okay, I've put my answer in the chat, so don't look at it, Joe.
Can't see what that says, Joe. And
I mean, you have to take yourself off mute as well.
Yeah, I went 5, so I'm very, very concerned. I think I could name 7, but let's see if Paul can.
No.
Whoever type.
There's only a loose timer here. We haven't got an actual ticking clock, but
okay.
Paul, when you're ready, if you get one wrong,
it's over.
5 points. Yep.
Okay, right. Fitzmagic. Buffalo Bills.
Ding.
Tampa Bay Buccaneers.
Ding.
Washington Football Team Commanders. Howard.
Ding.
That's just one, though, yeah?
That is one.
So how many have I got so far? 3?
3.
Oh, I can't. Why did I say
struggling?
7? Why did I say 7? Right, which ones have I got?
You got the Bills.
Oh,
the Bucs,
come on.
The Jets.
The Jets is correct. Ding.
The Dolphins.
Correct. Ding.
Fuck! Why did I say this?
2 to go.
Oh, Fitzmagic. I
know it's not your standard, Joe. What do you think of the graphic? While Paul has a by time.
It's very nice, getting the hairy chest out, and
Yeah, it's a great picture. To be fair, yeah.
Well, I had to find one of him not in uniform as well.
Yeah, getting our female viewers up. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I think what a stupid thing to say 7. Yeah, I don't think I can remember anymore.
You gonna have a guess? No harm in guessing.
Yeah, there is. I'm just playing through the divisions, trying to think which teams has he actually played for.
I think I've got one more.
You want to keep it to yourself for now?
Yeah.
Seattle.
5 points, Joe.
Ah.
Joe, do you want any? No points on offer, but
Did he play for the Texans?
He did play for the Texans.
Oh.
He did, yeah.
Texans in my head.
Dolphins as well.
You said Dolphins, didn't you?
Oh, did I?
You did.
Yeah.
Any more, Joe?
I
got no points, but
I don't know. I've got Ravens in my head, but I don't think he played Ravens.
It didn't, but it does begin with an R. We have the St. Louis Rams.
Rams.
Yeah.
The Rams, Bengals, and Titans.
Bengals.
We didn't get.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, and that's taken from his wiki, I believe. So the 7. I'm not too sure why it's 2007 to 2008. Oh, Texans only 2004. I guess he only spent 1 year with the Texans. Felt like more in real time, truthfully.
So there was 9, yeah.
Oh. Yeah, there was 9 total. Yeah, this is the teams of Fitzpatrick.
Yeah, Rams forgot. Yeah, Bengals. I wouldn't remember that, and Titans. I definitely wouldn't have got that as well.
Does that help?
No.
And if you both had the same number, I was going to ask how many seasons did he play. And if that was still a tie, you're going to do on his passing yardage.
Is that in the Bengals and Rams jerseys? It doesn't even look like him.
Yeah. He was drafted to the Rams, 2005, 17 seasons later. And one bonus fun fact from doing a little Ryan Fitzpatrick research, he has the most rushing touchdowns with different teams.
Oh, nice.
In the NFL, he has 8. Never got on with Washington. Only played 3 games for them. So
yeah.
Alrighty. So after first round, Do you believe in Fitzmagic? Joe is 5-0 up, having done nothing. Well done, Joe. Best way to be, right?
Yep.
So we're going to move on to our Pro Bowl battle. The graphic did not quite fit, and I did not have time to amend it. But we see the word Pro Bowl, and that's really all we're looking for here. And for this, we're going to go back and forth. We're not after a number. So, Joe, you are in the lead, so you're going to go first. I would like to know, since the 2020 season to today, name a quarterback, and there is 8 total. A point for each, so maximum of, well, once you're out, you're out. So, I mean, Paul might not get any of them, and you might go 8-0. But, yeah, once you lose, or once you get one wrong, you'll be out. But there's a maximum of 8. A quarterback who's been named All-Pro, which is either All-Pro, Second Team All-Pro, or Sports Writers All-Pro. The categories, that's what PFR lists as All-Pro. So quarterback 2020, 21, 22, 23 season, and there's 8 total. So ready when you are, Joe. You're on mute.
I mean, I can tell you what I said, though.
Patrick Mahomes.
Patrick Mahomes is correct. Yes, I don't have how many years, but I think it's more than one.
Lamar Jackson.
Correct.
He's got to be. Joe Burrows.
Joe Burrow is correct.
Balls.
Who's that? Ed Balls?
No. I don't know if he would have done enough in the regular season. Tom Brady.
Tom Brady is correct. 2-2. Joe?
Desmond.
Josh Allen.
Josh Allen is correct.
Oh, can't even want to say this. Brock Purdy.
Joe, you have 3 remaining to set a big lead here.
Okay. Let's go. This is a Matthew Stafford.
Thankfully for you, Paul, that is also incorrect. No more leads.
I think he was there last year.
That round finishes 3-2 to Joe. Pretty close. Could have been a lot worse.
Why did he get 3-2?
You got Mahomes, Allen, and Joe Burrow.
Oh, he did, yeah.
You got Lamar and Tom Brady. Neither of you got the 2-time MVP during this time, Aaron Rodgers.
Oh, Aaron Rodgers.
Oh, my God, yeah.
Jalen Hurts.
I was going to get Jalen Hurts, but
Hurts instead of Purdy is where I was going to go.
And Dak Prescott last year.
Dak, yeah.
Oh, okay.
But actually, I don't think Brock and Matthew Stafford are stupid guesses. Either could have done, I think, pretty easily. I don't think they'd have been far off.
Was Dak for last year then, yeah?
Yeah, I'm pretty sure, yeah. He's the last name on the list, and I've done them by year, so almost certainly. Okay, so sticking in the All-Pro category, and Paul, you're going to go first this time. Same time frame, 2020 to 2023, 4 years. Running backs who have had the same honour.
Christian McCaffrey.
Correct.
Oh, God. All-Pro running backs. Let's just go for it. Ezekiel Elliott.
Oh, incorrect. Paul, you can come on.
Oh,
Big
no.
one here.
2020 to 23. Jesus, Joe. Josh Jacobs.
Oh, he's blowing it.
What?
Well, he's been the rushing leader in that time, but he has not made All-Pro.
That is ridiculous.
Let me just double check that, because that does sound ridiculous. This could be a data error from me before.
No.
Because, yeah, that does sound pretty ridiculous. Because he was the rushing leader that 1 year.
By a long way. It was 2022, right?
Yeah. So, yeah, I could have just misnoted it.
No, I doubt it.
Well, first time All-Pro 2022. You are right. So,
Right, still alive. Derrick Henry.
Correct.
Okay, how many was there?
10 total.
10. Okay, so we've got 3.
Oh, I missed Josh Jacobs though.
Yeah, wild. Saquon.
Correct.
I'm just trying to remember back to our monster years. So Hugh McCaffrey was 2023, right? Well, it wouldn't necessarily be 2023.
He's had a good few years, to be fair.
Yeah. Okay. Struggling. When there's 10, though, how can I be struggling when there's 10?
I've got a couple in my mind. Oh,
20. No. I'm taking a piss here with time. Alvin Kamara.
Kamara is correct.
Oh, shit. Okay. I was not expecting that one to be right.
I could tell that, yeah.
5. Austin Eckler.
I believe Eckler is incorrect, but let me just double check again because I don't have him on my list. But
I would have had Eckler. They were the two I thought.
He seems like he should have been. So was there just an issue on the 2022 sheet? Jacobs, Chubb. No, he was not there, thankfully, because I'd made another mistake. But thankfully, Zeke wasn't on it. So even after I'd corrected my mistake. But yeah, Eckler was incorrect.
So it's Chubb.
So yeah, Chubb was correct, yeah.
Who the rest? Most of it?
Raheem Mostert, yeah, last year.
Yeah, should have got that one just by sheer volume of touchdowns, really. From last
year. Really helps.
Yeah, whatever, or 20 odd that he got. So yeah, there's Mostert, there was Chubb. Yeah, Joe, feel free to jump into complete list. That's 6, isn't it? So there's 4.
Oh, Jonathan Taylor. So he had a monster year.
JT in 2020, yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, nice. Jonathan Taylor.
I'm trying to think who like big running backs. So you got like.
I think you've got the biggest names, truthfully. There's one from last year. Kind of an out of the blue one.
What about Joe Mixon?
Mixon, yeah, a couple of years ago, yeah.
Kyron Williams
last year, yeah. And then you have 2 to go. One who is out of the league right now but hasn't retired, but probably should. He was on the Jets last year.
Oh, Dalvin Cook.
Dalvin Cook.
And one who I was kind of surprised to see him on here, truthfully. Player I've liked throughout his entire NFL career. Just left the team that drafted him in 2020, and he's now the New England Patriots. I think passing downs backup for Ramondre Stevenson. He left Washington.
Not Morris, no.
Jesus Christ, no. Not Alfred Morris.
No.
I don't think who Morris was, truthfully. I'm just shaking my head because it's wrong, but I couldn't think who you meant.
What is his name now?
Well, I'll show you what his name is now.
Gibson?
Antonio Gibson, correct, yeah.
Antonio Gibson, bloody hell.
And
Never have got Antonio Gibson there, sorry.
I wouldn't have either.
Yeah.
For some reason, it's cut off the bottom of JT and Gibson here, but...
solid 4-0 round for Paul there?
I believe that was solid 5-0 round for Paul.
Oh, was it 5 out of 5?
CMC, Barkley, Kamara, Jacobs, Derrick Henry.
Yeah.
Nicely done.
Chubb was one I should have gotten. Kyron Williams and Mostert just from last year. Paul, I should have ran the board there. Minus.
That's how I feel.
See what's coming. I can see what's coming now. Jesus.
So, yeah, currently after 2 rounds, nice and tight. We've got Joe on 8, Paul on 7. Joe, you are on the lead. So you think you know what's coming now? What is coming next?
We're going to be naming all the quarterbacks that started for the Cleveland Browns.
Not quite.
Thank God for that.
No, not quite. So last week, we had not much NFL news, but one of the pieces of NFL news was about a head coach, Mike Tomlin. Any wise on what we're about to do?
No, but go on. I'm so excited for it.
How many Browns head coaches has there been since? Don't yell out a number. Going to do the same as the first round here. Browns head coaches since Mike Tomlin got the job. And then how many can you name is going to be the game here.
Okay, now.
Spoiler, it does include the current Browns. It does include the current Browns head coach. There's at least one you can get, I'm pretty sure.
All right, I'll put my answer in the chat, Joe, so don't look.
I'm going to go... I've got 2.
Oh, you fucker.
All right, Paul went with 3. So, Paul, you just need to name 3 Browns head coaches.
Well,
you get 3 points.
Kevin Stefanski.
Correct.
Freddie Kitchens.
Correct.
Hugh Jackson.
Correct. 3 points. I'm not going to share the screen just yet because we have another Browns question to come, and it's on the same slide. Another successful head coach, GM, who hasn't signed a new deal, but he was the best one I could find for a little list here. Les Snead became the Rams GM in 2012. How many Browns GMs during that time can you name? And again, Joe, don't be looking at the screen because Paul's probably going to put his thing in the chat here. Joe, what's your shout?
I only can think of 1.
Is that
I'm
your
going
goal?
1.
All right, well, Paul went 0, so
okay.
1 and you've got a point.
I punted.
Is Sashi Brown one?
Sashi, he is indeed, yes.
I didn't know that from a different podcast.
Is it around the NFL?
Yep.
Yeah, love the Sashi Brown drop. So at the end of that, Paul ended up with 3 points and Joe got 1 point for his Sashi Brown. So it's 9-10 to Paul after that round. But I mean, just for fun, let's have a look at this list of shame.
I've started best to punt there. Let Joe have that if you get the one.
John Dorsey, of course.
I was just amused seeing Mike Lombardi as a name. Truthfully, that's why I went with from 2012. Because I was like, oh my God, Mike Lombardi's been coaching, GMing in the NFL. Who shouldn't be GMing in the NFL. Quite a funny guy to listen to on his podcast. Not for the reasons he wants you to laugh at him, I don't think. I don't think he wants to be laughed at, period. I think he thinks he's a cutting-edge NFL mind. He is not. But yeah, I was just amazed to see his name on the list of GMs in like relatively modern times. So I was like, oh, okay, let's just hear it from Mike Lombardi onwards and find a GM who's also been in since then. So that was Les Snead. A lot of good names on that coaching list as well. Freddie Kitchens, Greg Williams, Rob Chudzinski, Mangini.
Yeah, I think
they've finally got it together now. I think with Stefanski and Berry is clearly as good as it's ever been for the Browns.
I think if I'd have pushed it to 4, I'd have come unstuck. I think maybe I'd have got Shermer, maybe Crennel.
Yeah, it's hard because I'm the one doing the questions, but I think I'd have struggled to get more than 4.
Yeah,
Greg Williams would have been a push. I didn't actually mention that caretakers were fine, but
it wouldn't matter.
Yeah. And it's hard. I remember Mangini being a coach, but it is kind of hard to put it in that timeline because I've had so many over such a long period, even longer than Mike Tomlin's been there. Alrighty, so we're pretty tight, which I think is real good. I was hoping this would be a nicely contested thing. So let me just see what is our next. Can you tell me what our next category is going to be?
Based on what you've come up with so far, I have no idea.
So the beginning of all wisdom is knowing yourself. Apparently the screenshot got cut a little here. So we have to know ourselves to have the beginning of all wisdom. So this is a good teams win, great teams cover round.
Oh, fucking hell.
So there's going to be 2 points per correct answer. And this is just going to be a shout in with the correct answer. But if you're shouting an incorrect one, it's one and done. You either get it right or you get it wrong. Fastest finger wins. Just shout out the team. The team name is going to be the answer. So just shout out with the team name, and I'm going to be able to tell if it was Paul or Joe.
I hope so. Yeah.
Yeah, well, some people have a buzz, shout your name. It's I'm pretty sure I can detect who's who. So in the 2023 season, on Good Teams Win, Great Teams Cover, every week we picked a favourite and an underdog and an over-under, but that's not relevant here. And Joe's done an incredible job of compiling those stats at the end of the season for us. So when we picked favourites, which favourite did we pick who won the most games? Or who won the most games as favourite that we picked? Combined, not individually.
San Francisco?
Incorrect. Joe, you've got a one chance to grab it here.
Who was our favourite?
And it wasn't San Fran.
The Bills.
It was not. It was the Rams with 5 wins.
Rams.
On the opposite side, who did we pick as favourite and had the most losses?
Ravens.
Incorrect.
Oh, that's the other way around.
The Chiefs.
Incorrect. It was the 49ers and the Rams tied. How many times did we pick the Rams? They were tied for 4 each.
Questions.
Yeah, if you just keep saying Rams, you'd have been great in this round.
Yeah.
Maybe not so good throughout. Okay, so no points so far, but we are going to move on to the underdogs. Who did we pick to win as underdog? Pick as underdog, and they won most often.
Oh, don't say what you just normally would say.
The Titans.
Did you say Titans?
Yeah.
Incorrect.
Ah, fuck it. Pittsburgh Steelers.
Incorrect. It was the Seattle Seahawks with 4. I remember picking them against the Eagles. I loved that call for weeks before, but I don't remember any of the other ones. I just remember that one. And then, obviously, we picked them as underdogs, and they lost the most.
Oh, maybe I should have said that. Pittsburgh Steelers.
Boom, 2 points. Steelers are tied with someone else. So, Joe, if you can get the one and they tied with you, both get 2 points here.
Who was the underdogs who lost the most?
And we backed them. And again, that's us as a, as a group.
Yeah.
Doesn't mean that you believed in them. Doesn't mean I did.
Oh, don't give them clues.
Oh, well, I was talking about the Steelers. You've already got the one that was a clue for.
I might know it. Do I get extra points?
The Colts.
The Colts is incorrect. Who are you going to say, Paul?
Titans.
That is incorrect also. It was the Bears. I think that was me.
Yeah.
I think that was me quite a lot of the time. So we've got 2 more. Same category, kind of. Favorite versus. So our favorites were, obviously, they have an opponent every week. Who did we have the most wins against as a favorite?
Ooh. Carolina Panthers.
Another 2 points. Crushing it, Paul. And who did our favorites lose to most often?
The favorite lose to. Oh, I know this as well.
I'll let him have a go.
So you done the sheet months ago, and I'm sure you've not looked at it since.
Nope. Favorites lost to.
Can jump in whenever you want, Paul.
No, I'll let Joe have a go at this.
Thanks, Paul.
I'll eliminate one team and then I'll have a go.
I'm going to go the Panthers.
No.
Oh, because I know Paul bet against the Panthers loads.
Yeah, I remember that, yeah.
I've lost my train of thought. Remind me of the question. Our underdogs lost against?
No, when we picked as a favourite, they lost the most to.
Right, when we picked as favourite, they lost the most to. Atlanta?
New York Giants.
Fucking hell.
Yeah, 6 times.
Houses.
Which I don't know if the Giants won 6 games, but again, these are always based on the spread when we do these.
Yeah. I don't know if they covered 6 games.
They must have covered 6.
Well,
it might be the only time. Although, to be fair, if we picked them, if all 3 of us picked them in 1 week, I think that would count as 3, to be fair.
3 losses,
so.
Yeah.
And then the opposite. So, as an underdog, who did we have the most wins against?
As an underdog. Philadelphia?
I heard Saints and Philadelphia, and frankly, I don't need to decide who was in first because they're both wrong. It was the Colts with 4.
Colts, yeah, nice.
And then again, obviously, the other side of that, picking underdogs, who did we lose the most to?
The Ravens.
The Ravens. Do you want to put a number on it, Joe?
Oh, I'm going to go 7.
Oh, yes, it was 7. No bonus point, but great shout.
I picked against the Ravens a lot.
It was, I think we did me and Byron did, or the Seahawks to beat them at home, and then there was the Eagles. It was Lions. We were and the Ravens blew them out every single time.
Yeah.
Lamar versus the NFC. Not exactly undefeated, but not far off it.
Yeah.
So we're heading into our final round. How have you found the quiz so far?
Really good. I'm appalled at our lack of knowledge of our own.
I thought this one would get us, to be fair.
Yeah.
It was a lot of
It's
fun
because-
putting it together because I had no idea either.
Yeah. The new season has begun. All that kind of stuff just got off my head.
Given we're a betting show as well. But yeah, I suppose the point would be we really need to study that to learn our mistakes of last year.
Yeah.
So worthwhile exercise, yeah.
Definitely. So that's our little sheet there of good teams winning, etc., etc. Our last round is, we're not ripping off any pre-existing IPs here at all. We are on Pointless.
What are the scores on the doors, by the way?
Scores on the doors are Paul 14, Joe 11.
Oh.
So our last round here is Pointless. If you get an exact answer, you get 10 points. If you just beat the other person, you get 5 points. We have 4 questions to go. So Pointless here is, have we all played on the quiz site Sporkle?
Yes.
Very fun site. So I've got 4 categories from 2023, and I want you to give me the pointless answer for this category, each category that I'm going to give you. So the first category is, and you understand what I'm saying here, right? So I want the least common correct answer.
Yeah. Who's going first in the first one?
Paul, you're ahead, so I'll let you go first.
Oh, thanks.
In fact, I'll let you have the choice.
Joe can go first.
Joe can go first, and then you'll go first in the second round.
Yeah.
Joe, third round, you'll go. Great. So in the 2023 NFL draft, name a player that was drafted in the first round. And the most obscure correct answer, the better.
Oh my! I can't even think of anyone who's even been drafted. That would help.
Anybody that's been drafted.
Well, I can, but they're so high up. It's pointless.
I'd probably won't be pointless if they're that high up.
Yeah. Well, yeah.
That's
there
Les
you go.
Dennis-esque. That's me channeling Les.
Screen? Where's he gone?
He's on his other computer looking at the 2023 NFL draft.
He was leaning that far back then. He got out off his camera. Come on, Joe. We did a live watch along for it. Our first annual draft spectacular.
Again, that was so long ago, Paul. I'm over 30 now.
Shout out to our Things That Change at 30 draft, which is available now on Spotify and YouTube.
And there was only 31 picks this year because the Dolphins forfeited.
Yeah, but it's 2023, didn't you?
Yeah, that's when they forfeited.
No, it was this year, 2024. Was it
No.
not? Oh, my bad. There you go. Memory gone again.
Oh, did he even get drafted in the first round?
Gonna need a name at some point here,
I
Joe.
know. Come on, Joe. This is terrible. Anybody listening on Spotify?
Only one I can think of. Let's go Garrett Wilson. That's the only one I can. Is that even 22? Yeah.
Garrett Wilson, I think, was 2022, unfortunately.
So is that 100 points for Joe?
That is 100,
I just literally need to name anybody.
Anybody who gets less than 100 will be...
Oh, I'll just go Mazzy Smith then.
Mazzy Smith of the Dallas Cowboys, 86.6% of the people got it. So that is 5 points to Paul. I mean, you've got to think that it's not just the general public doing this. This isn't Family Fortunes. This is people who are doing a quiz on the 2023 NFL draft.
So assuming that Joe wouldn't have picked him, our answer would have been Nolan Smith. He was quite late.
Nolan Smith was 86.5. He was only 0.1% less than Mazzy Smith.
Oh,
wow.
But I think what you've got to remember is this is Spotify, so you type in the word Smith and you get both of them. And if you're not sure, you might just type the word Smith in because there's probably a Smith got drafted, right?
Yeah.
It's not necessarily a knowledge thing. The pointless answer would have been Anton Harrison, Jacksonville Jaguars tackle. 35.6% still, to be fair. But again, this is people who are doing NFL draft quizzes as fun. So
yeah, that's fair. Okay.
This isn't our, it's not 100 people in the street. So
Cool.
Yeah, I don't think there was any real notable names that were like low. Clyde Jacansey, 51.4. I thought it was probably be higher just because he had a very memorable name. But you might misspell Cansey, I guess, and get frustrated and not guess again. Dalton Kincaid, 82%. Quentin Johnson, 82%. Yeah, nobody, no 10%ers.
Fair enough.
So, yeah, up to 11-19 lead here, Paul. So, again, this might be a bit of a wait for you to give me an answer here as well. So, this is a 2023 NFL skill positions. So, this is quarterback, running back 1 and 2, wide receiver 1, 2, 3, and tight end for every NFL team. I want you to tell me the most obscure.
Right. So, skill positions, NFL 2023. It's quarterback, running back 1 and 2, wide receivers 1 through 3, and tight end 1 and 2.
Just tight end 1.
Oh, just tight end 1. Okay.
Oh, we have to know every single one to get on the board.
No, I just need to name one, right?
You only need to name one, and as obscure as you can get. And this is based on the end of the NFL season, looking at the names.
Okay.
It's 2023, yeah?
Yeah. It's me to go first this time, yeah?
It is indeed.
Fucking hellfire. Noah Fant.
Noah Fant is not pointless. But he's not, there's 3 columns. He's on the last column. He's at 51%. So Joe has a good number of names to pick from to beat you, but not a ridiculous amount, I will say. So someone more obscure than Noah Fant, please, Joe.
He needs this as well. He needs this big time.
I mean, if you can name the actual bottom player, you will take the lead as well.
Oof.
You know what? I'm coming up blank because I'm trying to think of obscure. It's not going to be. Let's just go Juwan Jennings.
Juwan Jennings, 40.8%. You take it, Joe.
Bastard. Well done, Jeff.
But to 14-19, the most obscure player was Michael Carter, the Cardinals' backup running back. Chase Edmonds, Kylan Granson, Rashid Shaheed, I thought would be higher because I like Rashid Shaheed. Zach Charbonnet, again, not huge names. You've done really well to get Juwan Jennings, I think, 40%. Probably the most notable name of that bottom list. Jaden Reed was 42%. I thought he'd be higher as well. He had a great season. JSN was 48%. I'm just going through the names that were below 50% really at this point. Yeah. And yeah, Noah Fant was a pretty good shout as well, Paul, I will say so. Grant, so that was... Where was my... There we go. I lost my PowerPoint to look at what the next round is. So this is from the NFL ESPN Top 100. I don't know if the NFL Network's done theirs, but there wasn't a Sparkle quiz for it anyway. So this is the top 100 players in the league from 2023, as voted on by ESPN, I presume. I don't know exactly who done their list for them, but I'm going to say ESPN compiled it themselves. So, Joe, you want to go first. Who was the most obscure player when Sparkle done the quiz in the NFL ESPN Top 100 of players from the 2023 season?
And this is just full, yeah, we're not on skill position players like the last category. We just
every NFL player, yeah. Sweet, it can be any position.
I'm going to go, I think this is his name, Jalen Johnson for the Bears.
He's not pointless. Let me see if he's on the list. He should be. Had a great year. I imagine he's probably going to be pretty low as well. It seems like a great shout. He's not on the list, period.
What?
Oh, so I just need to name anybody that's on the list.
Let me just double check that. Yeah, there's nobody Johnson on the list.
I'm just going to take a massive one just so to be safe.
Oh, boo.
Well, yeah, it's all about winning. And I'll tell you who I was going to take if Joe got a good one. Let's take one of Joe's guys. Let's take Madden cover star Christian McCaffrey.
Oh, it's not on the list, Paul. Sorry.
He's number 10.
I was going to take Tyler Smith if Joe got someone good. Cowboys O-lineman, tackle, guard.
Not on the list. In fact, I'm going to replay this round, controversially, because this is their 2023 list. This is for the 2022 season. So we're going to throw it out. So we know Christian McCaffrey's out. Jalen Johnson wasn't on the list because I was just stunned. I was looking through the names. I'm like, wait, some of these players literally didn't play in 2023. It's misadvertised. So this is going to be the 2022 season. Joe, you get a redo here.
Shambles.
Yeah, I agree. Not, in fact,
I'm not editing this bit out of the podcast.
no, it's 2022. It's a weird list. There's some weird names in it, but yeah, just give me a name for 2022, Joe.
You know what? I'll go back to Garrett Wilson. On there.
Garrett Wilson is on the list, 86.3%.
Oh, 86.
Again, this is people who are doing this quiz, not people in the street. That's about middle of the pack, by the way.
Christian McCaffrey, go on, Paul. Do it again.
No, I'm not going to pick CMC. I will take... ...2022. Sam Hubbard.
Not on the list.
That's scandalous.
For
I
top
agree.
100 players, I was going to throw out... who's the linebacker for the Cowboys who's just retired?
Van Der Esch.
Glenn Van Der Esch.
Nah.
Doesn't look like he's on it. I don't think he would be.
Okay.
Have I taken the wrong one? Should I have taken Hendrickson?
I don't see him just yet, but let me type his name in here. Hendrickson. Yeah, you would have won with Trey Hendrickson, yeah. 67%. The pointless answer was Kayvon Thibodeau, which seems very bold after he had a... Yeah, that's why I figured it must be 2023, because he had an okay 2023. Yeah, and didn't do much in 2022.
Oh, why?
I was surprised he was on the list. Yeah, you're surprised that it's because he's such a big name. Yeah, he didn't have a great rookie. Yeah, Aiden Hutchinson was the second most obscure.
What a shit list this is.
Agreed. Yeah, but still, we are now in a real tight battle with only 3 questions remaining, and they're all the same category. So
it's good for the pod.
Absolutely. So this is our stat leaders, top 10s. Who is the most obscure player? Who's going first here? So it was Joe, Paul.
Yeah.
So I want a player who finished in the top 10 at this stat, and I want the most obscure player.
Got you.
Receptions in 2023, and this is definitely 2023.
Okay. Receptions. 2023, most obscure. So we've got...
And again, just the kind of thing, it's not going to be someone super obscure because it's a top 10 at this position.
Yeah.
You know, so like...
Top 10.
Oh, you just got to score, haven't you, really? You've got to get on the, as long as you don't get the number 1 person, you've got a chance, haven't you, right? So let's go Puka Nacua.
So
he must have been in top 10 for receptions.
Yeah, I'm searching by reception, and I should be searching by his name, really.
It was over 100, wasn't it? So he must have been in top 10.
I'm sure he is. Puka Nacua is there for scrimmage yards. He is there for receptions as well. Yes.
What number was it?
He is 8 of 10.
So I've got to get the other 2.
One of the other 2, yeah.
That's good. That's good. That for
the
opening guess. Yeah.
Do I go back to the well? I'm going to go for it. Let's go through Garrett Wilson again.
I don't think he's in the top 10.
It's Zach Wilson throwing in the ball.
Yeah,
but he was the only wide receiver there.
He's not right anyway. Adam Thielen was the pointless answer in this category.
Oh, yeah, of course.
Well, there you go. Bryce Young. Zach Wilson, same player.
So our second category is receiving touchdowns.
So that's Joe. Joe to go first, yeah?
That's right. And this is just a top 8.
8.
Yeah, I'm not sure why they're changing numbers on these, but and we're currently at 17-22 to Paul. You take last 2 and you will win, Joe. Get a pointless answer and you'll be in the lead. Basically, a pointless answer for anyone wins it at this point.
Oh my word! I'm just trying to think of who's. Let's go Puka Nacua again. Is he on the list?
Puka Nacua is not on the list.
What?
Right, so I just need to get someone that's on the list. You had
Yep.
the most receiving touchdowns in the NFL last year. Feel like I should know that quite quickly, and for some reason I don't. Is it going to be one of the heavy hitters? It's got to be one of them, hasn't it? It's got to be one of the heavy hitters. CD?
CD Lamb is the 4th most popular answer, but he is correct. Playing to win is Old Paul.
Who else we have on that list then? Tyreek?
Yeah, Mike Evans was the most popular.
Mike Evans, yeah, of course. Tyreek, Mike Evans, CD, Puka, Amon-Ra St. Brown.
Amon-Ra, yeah.
Was that Ayuk? No, Ayuk.
No. Sam Laporta.
Laporta.
And our pointless answer, Cortland Sutton.
Cortland Sutton.
Oh, dear.
The Broncos.
The very same. So that puts us at... Oh, hang on, I'm mistyping. 17-25 to Paul. Joe, you need a pointless answer to win. Anything else, and it's Paul's game. So we need... Our last category is rushing touchdowns.
Me to go first.
Yeah, Joe just went first, yeah. So there's 9. We have the top 9. I want the most obscure, please.
I nearly blurted out the person with the most, which was not the question. Right, rushing touchdowns. And there's 9.
9 to pick from, yeah. 9 correct answers.
I'm just going to get on the board. Kyron Williams.
Kyron Williams is correct. 95.3% of people said him. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6th most popular answer.
Ooh, it's not bad. 6 out of 9. Just so Joe needs the pointless one to win.
Yep.
Wow. Okay, there's a few options. I'm going to go James Conner.
James Conner. Not on the list.
Oh, it was a gamble. It was a gamble.
The way you were setting out then was to say
I know.
Pointless answer. Right, let's try and get this pointless answer then.
It's not Jalen Hurts, but I'm guessing he'll be on the list.
He's on the list, but yep, not the pointless answer.
Not most. Most did he get? No.
Yeah, most
Yep.
of when he was the leader, yeah.
Yeah, McCaffrey's obviously on
They
there.
both got 96%. McCaffrey 95%. Kyron Williams was also 95%.
It wasn't Montgomery, was it?
95%.
Jesus. Okay.
I mean, the pointless answer here got 91%.
Oh, okay.
So, you know, again, there isn't really an obscure one.
Lamar?
Lamar, no, not on the list.
I was going to say Kamara, but I think if you get that
Not on
many.
the list. You're pretty close with Lamar Jackson, I will say.
Oh, Josh Allen.
You were close in a different way.
Oh.
Rudolph.
Gus.
The Gus bus. The Gus bus. Yep.
Bus.
The Gus bus would have been your ticket to a win. But yeah, 91% for Gus Edwards, yeah. And that concludes our first ever Good Teams Win, Great Teams Cover quiz. So
Excellent.
Congratulations, Paul.
Well done, Byron. I'm putting it together.
Thanks very much. Yeah, it was a blast. I think that was worked out pretty well.
Excellent work, yes.
We had a 28-17 win, but I think that was close the entire way. Tried to get the scoring so, we could have a winner at the end, unless someone smashed every round. But I think you both did really well as well, to be fair, getting on the board an awful lot.
It went to the last question.
Yeah,
went down to the final 2 minutes. What more do you want? Excellent. Commiserations, Joe. He shrugged his shoulders.
Yeah, no, yeah. I'll do a lot more research for next year. That's right now. No, I'll concentrate a lot more this year.
Well, one of us can take the turn of being quizmaster for next year when we're trying to fill a week in the off season. But that was good, and maybe we'll get a guest next time. That could work.
Yeah, I think it would work well with a guest as well, because maybe we wouldn't have the good teams win round if it was a guest as well. I thought you'll throw it in just because it's us, though. So.
Yeah, that was the bit that made me think people are definitely going to switch off listening to this because we don't even know what we fucking bet on.
Yeah. But yeah, I thought it went well, and yeah, well done, lads. I don't think either of you embarrassed yourself. I think, like I said, got an awful lot of the questions close, all right. So
yeah, I think we did well there. Yes, well done, Joe. Commiserations and better next time. That brings us to there isn't sign off because I said we'd do this at the start. We didn't do it because I forgot because we're too busy doing other stuff. Ups and downs for the week. We'll be quick to sign off. Joe, your down is obviously getting beat by me in the good teams and great teams cover trivia draft. But let's start with your up for the week. Is he just on strike now?
Sorry, you froze a bit. Yeah, sorry, you froze a bit. Then did you say me?
Yeah.
Okay, sorry about that. You froze. I couldn't hear what you said. My up for the week is just that it's the sport in heaven right now, except the NFL not being on. But with the Euros and the Cricket World Cup, it's just a perfect time where all the games are during working hours. So it's nice just to be able to work from home, chuck some sport on, and then just, it just flies by. So sporting world as it is right now is a good.
Nice. Yeah. Good. We talked about the Euros at the start, but yeah, no, definitely a good place to be with the 2020 World Cup as well. Byron, you're up for the week.
So a couple of fantasy football things. I'm really picky about joining Dynasty Leagues. So I've joined too many over the years that kind of flame out and what have you. But I just joined a new one this week. It's the first one I've joined from scratch in probably 3 years. A lot of people do startups every year, and I kind of think, well, you're probably not going to stick with all them leagues. But yeah, one of my favorite commissioners was starting a new league and managed to get a spot in it. So that was really exciting. And just as a kind of tie-in, it's kind of related. Coming up very soon is the Scott Fish Bowl, which I'm not sure how much people are aware of if they don't play fantasy football. But it's the biggest charity-driven tournament of fantasy in the world. I think there's 4,500 teams this year. I've been very lucky to play in the last 4 years, or 5 including this year. But one of the things that I do for all the charity leagues I play in that have unusual scoring is I use Mike Clay's projections and put an Excel sheet together that mirrors that unusual scoring, because most people don't know how to do it or don't want to do the work. But I'm a nerd and I enjoy that kind of thing. And usually I just say, send me a screenshot of a donation. And when I done it for Fantasy Cares Eliminators a couple of weeks ago, 6-8 weeks ago, my DMs were flooded, truthfully. Over 100 people got in touch, which is great. But it was a lot to keep up with. Send this sheet to everybody, make sure that they actually sent me a donation, screenshot and stuff like that. And then if anyone didn't like it, being a bit awkward, hey, you didn't send me an actual screenshot here, I'm not trying to give you it. Please donate to charity. It's what the entire thing is for, Fantasy Cares. But yeah, my buddies over at Fantasy Cares, John Bosch, Bob Gilchrist, they put together an actual link for me to use. So basically, if you donate through the link, which is in my pinned tweet on Twitter, they will just give you the spreadsheet or the Google Sheet link anyway, because I updated it last weekend, just gone. And it was updated the week prior as well. I generally, if there's any big NFL news, Mike Clay updates his sheet and I go and update my sheet based on that. So yeah, I don't know how many people have donated. I don't have that kind of back-end access, but it's very cool to kind of be tied in a little with Fantasy Cares and help them raise money and do some good in the world. And yeah, as of just looking at it now, that tweet has been got 7,500 views, which, I'm not a big hitter on Twitter, so it's certainly a lot for me. And a lot of people have liked it, retweeted. A lot of people have reached out saying thanks. And yeah, the scoring is very unusual this year. Returners are very heavily incentivized. If you made it to the end of Good Teams Win Great Teams cover quiz special here, trivia special, I'm going to give you a little sneak as well here. With these projections, the wide receiver 1 and the player 2 overall is my boy Marvin Mims. And this is, I have no input, other than putting the sums in. But yeah, he's projected for a lot of return volume, and return volume is going to score well this year in the Scott Fish Bowl. So I think 4 of the top 12 wide receivers have projected return volume. So like Rashid Shaheed, Khalil Shakir, Deebo Samuel, and Marvin Mims is my wide receiver 1 in this format, which feels wild. But
that does feel wild, yeah.
Yeah, so so that's been a real cool thing anyway, to, like, as Cindy phrased it, putting my nerd skills to good use. I said you could just say skills, but she insisted on having the word nerd in there, so sure.
Excellent. So yeah, at Byron Chenko, we'll get the link in our Good Teams and Great Teams cover socials as well. I think it's already on the Twitter, but we'll get it across the others as well. Some great work from Byron there for a good cause. Good stuff. What's mine? I've had a pretty naff week, to be fair.
You just want a quiz?
I just want a quiz. Oh, I found somewhere new to live. There we go.
Hey,
I'm moving on Friday, so yeah.
Bloody hell.
That's
wasting no time.
Good, yeah. So that's good. And my bad, before we cycle around to you guys, is all my sporting endeavours have gone to shit. I just got walloped 4-0 at snooker before and played like I genuinely never played before. And I took not an actual golf lesson, but one of my pals is quite a good golfer. He took me down to the driving range the other night, Friday, and he'd never seen me play before. And he was like, "Oh, you're a lot better than I thought you were going to be based on how you described it." So we started like changing little things, and we changed too much, and I just went to shit. And now I can't go back to how I was hitting the golf ball before, and I'm back to like 12 months ago. So my golf swing's broken. So yeah, that's my bad. My sporting endeavours have just gone to pot. Joe?
I'm the opposite, really. Nothing too bad's going on.
Golf game,
life's good. Other than losing the quiz, the weather's been a bit shit here, so not being able to do much. It's just been raining all of June, so that's about it. To be honest,
you swapped Britain for Britain.
Basically, yeah. It's supposed to be 28 this weekend, so hopefully it's turning. Yeah, this year's been crap, to be honest. Not as the greatest summer, so it's it is what it is. But yeah, can't complain.
And Byron, finish up. We should do it the other way, shouldn't we? Really, doing this moving forward and finish on the good. But Byron, you're bad.
So honestly, I'm struggling to think of a bad thing. Truthfully,
fuck off.
So I'm going with a real obscure one because life's pretty good, to be fair. I don't really have much to complain about, thankfully. But one person who's been a little shit at the minute, and a little troll, is Charlie Beandog. So he sleeps in our bed with us at night. He's very pampered, is Charlie. But what we don't like him doing is sleeping under the bed. Cindy hates it. And for some reason, he started doing it. And like Cindy is like super paranoid that like the bed's going to collapse and Charlie's going to instantly die. And like, it's like, that's not going to happen. But like, it's in her head. Do you know what I mean? So like, as soon as she knows Charlie's under the bed, it's like night's ruined, trying to get the dog out, like tempting him with treats and what. It's like, I don't know what he's doing, but like, he can go in the office. He doesn't need to be on the, we don't like force him on the bed or anything. But like, there's a few nights where he slept under the bed and like, it stresses Cindy out. So that's my one negative, that Charlie is just being a little troll. And I think he does it because he knows he's being a troll.
Yeah. I see that in him.
Oh, yeah, 100%. So, not the biggest negative in the world, but
no,
it is an irritation.
Well,
we have one more little positive-y before we sign off. We mentioned it on a podcast for our over 30s draft, I believe, or it might have been when we were on fair, but I think it's when we were on. Cindy had a first taste of Vimto, the sparkling, on Friday or Saturday. So I ordered there's a thing called Universal Yums. And this is a bit of a commercial for them, sure, because it's really good. It's not super cheap. Well, yeah, fair enough. But I ordered the big box because it was the UK. We don't really get it ever. We've done it a few during COVID when it was like mystery countries and they send you different countries ones. But this company is like specific countries and in advance. I was like, UK, fuck that. Yeah, I'm just getting the biggest box. So it's like $40, I think. That includes shipping and stuff. But yeah, there's kind of Vimto in there. So I got that chilled, and then I didn't know how Cindy would take to it because she's not as well versed in sodas as me. But yeah, she loved it, so I was really pleased with that. Even like just the smell of it was so delightful.
Nice.
And there's some other things in there that I wasn't as familiar with, etc. But yeah, the Vimto was a huge hit. So
yeah,
so it was a better box than the Amazon return thing you got.
Yeah, and half the price. Yeah,
nice.
Very
well
good
worth
one.
it. Well worth the $40 just for the can of Vimto.
Yeah, I'm not too far off disagreeing. I'm not far off agreeing with you, to be fair, because it was a real treat.
Nice. Yeah, excellent. Well, what a way to finish. Thanks for joining us for our NFL Trivia Special. Good Teams Win, Great Teams Covered. As always, give us a follow. Spotify, Good Teams Win, Great Teams Covered. You'll be notified when new episodes dropped. YouTube, Twitter, X, Instagram, TikTok. Is that them all? Yeah.
I think so.
Yeah, at GTW_GTC. We'll be back next week. We're not too far away from just running into just pure NFL content because we are 9-10 weeks away from the season starting. So we'll be hopefully starting our NFL State of the Division/division previews in the next week or two. So watch out for those. And then we're on the run into the season. We've done the hard yards. We're getting into pure NFL content. We're going to have loads of guests talking about their teams. It should be a great series. So join us for that. And until next time, thanks for joining. We'll see you soon.
Cheers.